Hi friends, welcome back to This is Nook. So I'm going to make something I believe I've made before here on the channel, but I'm going to be making some, and what's left over I'm going to actually be putting in Mark's lunches for the Hot Logic Mini, so he can actually have a really nice a beef rib dinner for lunch. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it down here, and what we are going to do is some potatoes. We're going to have some baked potatoes and some corn on the cob. And meanwhile, this is just my mixture of paprika, garlic, onion, salt, or onion, pepper, all that stuff that's going to go on here. Go ahead and put that in here. Now I have about what would be about a cup of water down the bottom of my 3-quart Instapot. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and flip these all over. Just trying to only use one hand on this for right now until I can get to the sink and obviously wash my hands. But these are a little bit meatier than the last batch I got from there. This weekend when I went shopping, Walmart wanted $10.99 a pound for these, and I got these for $6.99 a pound, which I think is still majorly excessive. I can't remember what kind of meat that is that makes the beef ribs, but because we don't eat pork, we can no longer have the pork ribs. So I'm going to go ahead and put these just actually in here. Now what I'll be doing is, because I like fall apart ribs, I am actually going to be cooking these for like 45 minutes in the Instapot. And then when they get done, I'll be pulling these out to go ahead and put like in the Combi there, and actually put the barbecue sauce and everything. So that's what that looks like. I'll go ahead and put that over there in the Instapot, and I'll be right back and I'll start the other stuff here. Alright, so I got the ribs going, and when cornmeal was on sale, I sat there and I will actually vacuum seal them so it can last a lot longer, so you can have a taste of summer whenever it is that you want. Now obviously this was stuff I was going to have yesterday, so it kind of looks a little bit wonky, but it will taste just fine. Get those pushed down there. And then I have some potatoes, because like I said, what's going to be left over if this is too many potatoes for dinner and Mark's lunch, I'll make a baked potato for my lunch tomorrow. And on the stove, I actually have some macaronis going, so I can actually go ahead and make up a little small batch of macaroni salad. So I will be showing you that too once the noodles get done, and we'll make that up, get that ready for dinner also. Now for the sake of actually not dirtying up more dishes, I'm just going to go ahead and make the mixture here in this bowl. And what I usually just do is I use some Miracle Whip, some milk. Hopefully there's enough mustard in here. If not, I'll have to get out the other container. Now I normally do not like mustard, obviously, but this is the way my mom always made it, so this is the way I make it. And I guess you just stay sometimes with the way that you learned how to make it. And a little bit of sugar. Forgot the other stuff over here. Let me grab that. My mom always added some celery seed to it. Alright. And what I'm going to do is give that a quick little stir, get everything all mixed up. Oh, I forgot the salt and pepper. Now I was going to make up some of this yesterday because this was yesterday's meal, but it didn't happen. So get this all nice and blended. And it might have to put just a little bit more Miracle Whip in there. I put a little bit too much milk in there. It'll still work out. I'd rather have a little bit more liquid than have it be dry, so. Then, I don't know for sure if anybody's ever used one of these. I got this actually off Temu, but I had given Mary a set of these because she was fighting with some eggs one day. And I'm like, Mary, you need one of those things. And I wasn't placing an order through Temu, so I just said that to her. So what I just do is I just usually just press the egg, the hard-boiled egg right through there. And poof, you know, it's done. So yesterday, I was watching some videos, and I've never done it myself. But I did it yesterday, and it worked, so I might do it in the future. And I took some onion for our hot dogs we ended up having yesterday, and I just put it through the food processor. Now, most people were obviously just putting that in the freezer for later use, but I only tried it with the one onion to see if it actually worked, and it did. So there's all the stuff Mark just walked through the door. So there's all the other stuff here and here. I'll go ahead and dump the pasta in here. And yes, I'm using my under the sea or whatever this is pasta. I'm not for sure what that is or even how it got in my house. But nonetheless, it's here and that's okay. So as you can see, one less bowl I had to wash today. I'm going to go ahead and toss this in the fridge until dinner's done. I like it colder. My mom always liked it room temperature. Not a fan of room temperature or, you know, just freshly made macaroni salad. But I think this will work out really well. And I'll get this all cleaned up. And meanwhile, the potatoes and the corn on the cob is actually in the other Instapot. So I'll see you here in a few. Alright, so the meat just got done. As you can see, it's just like fall apart. That is the way I like to have my ribs. Even when we did eat pork and we had pork ribs, I would do the same thing. I loved fall apart ribs. I don't like to have to work hard for my meat. So this works out very nicely when they're fall apart. And if you guys all happen to know what kind of meat it is that they do use that might be cheaper than the ribs, you know, and just have me slice it ourselves or cut it ourselves, please let me know. That's got a lot of fat on it right there. And I know a long time ago someone had told me what it was made out of, but for the life of me, I can't think of what that is. So definitely to let me know would be very much appreciated. Because I would like to have beef ribs more often. I'm not a big fan of beef ribs. However, I do like ribs. I miss eating the pork ribs. That's the one thing about, the main thing about eating the, not eating pork I miss the most is the ribs. And real Italian sandwiches. I do miss eating real Italian sandwiches. And, what's the other thing? Pickle bologna. I do miss eating pickle bologna. Alright. So I'm going to grab this container. Bring this over here. Put that in there. Now, the other day, when we made some orange chicken, we actually had just spilled out, you know, what we could easily spill out of the ribs, or I mean of the sauce, and then we just put them in the refrigerator pretty much upside down. And I told Mark, I said, we gotta figure out something that we can use this barbecue sauce on so I can get 4 containers, because there was 3 already in the refrigerator. I didn't even know, or 1 was already in the fridge. So I wanted to make sure that I could use as much barbecue sauce as possible to get this used up. So what I'm just going to be doing is I'm going to go ahead and coat both sides And then I'll be putting that over there in the Combi on probably, what's that called? Broil, to actually, you know, crisp up the meat, or, you know, crisp up the sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and I will be right back. Alright, so both of these sides are done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the Combi. I'm going to go ahead and put this in. I have the fan going in the back. And go ahead, I'm going to leave that bottom thing in there. So anything that's being cooked, let me wash my hands off real quick. Got barbecue sauce on my hands. Anything that's being cooked on this side where the broil is, this has to be over here. Everything that's over here, you flip it up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Go down to broil. It's automatically at 400. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not usually one to cook like that, but broiling is different than cooking. And go ahead and put that on start. Oh, that's pizza, I'm sorry. I'd probably read properly. 450, excuse me. So that goes on automatically for 10 minutes. And I'll be back and we'll make up our plates and we'll show you what this is looking like. Wow, y'all. Look at that nice little spread out. So I'm going to show you something I do. I know it's kind of silly, but I told you the corn would come back and it looks okay. So what I usually do is I use corn pokies on the corn. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put the other side in here too. And I take the butt of the bread and I just butter my ribs, or my ribs, my ribs, my corn like that. It works out very nicely. So as you can see, we got some nice baked potatoes here. Because like I said, some of that's going to be actually in Mark's lunch. Got a little bit of my macaroni salad, which will be right here. Grab the other tongs that had the barbecue sauce on it. I mean, look at that, guys. That looks so yummy. Mark's like, that's a lot. I'm going to have a lot for my lunches. So I may steal one of his lunches from him. You may never know. So anyways, friends, this is a very nice, super easy, fast meal. I'm going to go ahead and put some butter on my potatoes. But all this was done pretty much with an two different Instapots. And it works out very well because, like I said, I put the corn and the potatoes together. So you'll have to let me know if you've made this before. If you have you done anything differently? Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you very much, and you have a very blessed and wonderful day.